Welcome to another episode of Wrinkles in the Crease, where we take a look at the stories in hockey and iron out the details. I am your host, Zachary Morgan. I have with me, as always, my co-host, Natasha Gershon. Natasha, what is going on?
Everything is good.
Everything is good?
Yes.
Fantastic.
Except
Trevor, how you doing, buddy?
Yeah.
It's a great Sunday.
That is, of course, the less than real deal Trevor Neal. Trevor, it is a great Sunday. Trevor, in all his mixed up fandoms, I make fun of Natasha a lot. I don't understand this. I'm not going to make fun of Trevor for it, but he is somehow a Giants fan.
My dad's a diehard Giants fan since the 80s.
There you go. That explains the familial ties. Okay. That's logical. And today is a good day. Giants win their first playoff game
10 plus years.
Super Bowl 46. For context, Super Bowl 46 was in the year of 2012.
12?
Yeah.
It's close.
That was a long time ago.
Yeah.
So,
only
9
years ago.
You were 9. I was in my freshman year at the University of Tampa.
I was 10.
I feel old right
Natasha,
now.
aren't you
Oh
younger
my
than
God.
me?
Anyway, we're going to move
Was I
on
10?
before I fall into
I was
this
not 10.
pit of despair.
I think I was like 8.
Speaking of pits, though, Robin Lehner seems to have found himself in quite a pit. One would argue that it may be a pit that was due to some snakes.
A snake pit.
Snake pit. Yeah. So I only have minimal details of this. I'm going to let someone else take the wheel.
Natasha is the article.
I'll take it over because I went on a rabbit hole last night. I went on a rabbit hole a couple nights ago when I found out about this. I think it became news 2 nights ago. I went on a whole deep dive on this. So here's the rundown. So we all know Robin Lehner, goaltender on
Vegas
Golden Knights. And
the
I think
NHL's
he on the Sabres as well.
Wild
but
thing.
He's out with just some injuries that kept, being annoying.
His body doesn't work.
Yeah.
His body don't work.
Body don't work no more.
He has no work.
Very good, Trevor.
And basically he went bankrupt because of some financial problems of his exotic snake farm from Missouri. It's like RL Exotics LLC, something like that. And it started when he purchased a $1.2 million snake. Or
no, it's a collection.
It's a $1.2 million snake farm that I got.
Not the snake farm, the snakes themselves.
Oh, the snakes themselves?
Yeah.
You bought $1.2 million in snakes in addition to oh my God, in addition to a farm.
And He's bought those snakes from this guy named Ben Rennick. But Ben Rennick was then murdered by his wife.
So do we know as the wife?
Ex-boyfriend. In a matter unrelated to Robin Lehner. This is just a whole other side story that happened.
But the timing of it was
just to buy the buy.
To seize all of the payments for all the snakes that he bought. So then then Rennick's estate bought a lawsuit against Robin, suggesting that he owed multiple payments. He owed multiple payments for the snakes.
There's half of it, right? Like $600,000 he owes.
Then he took on millions of dollars to take care of Rennick's snakes because he, got left the snakes. I don't know.
Well, I mean, if you buy $1.2 million worth of snakes, that's not something you can just kind of put in storage.
Them at his farm in Missouri, right? And then the snakes began to breed uncontrollably.
Which it's hard.
That caused them to lose value because
exotic snakes are not easy to breed. He's setting up the
decided to breed,
They're not easy to breed, and somehow they were breeding out of control in his facility.
He has liabilities up to the value of $50 million. So now he filed for bankruptcy, and that is the fun little story.
Hold on.
And there's some.
Hold on. Because coming into this, I was having trouble with, it's a $1.2 million snake farm. Robin Lehner had to have made more money than that. $50 million in liabilities is starting to make sense to me. I'm sorry I didn't interrupt. Please.
Yeah, I know. But then there's this whole other little side story of Mark Stone in an interview.
This is the best part. This is the absolute best part of the
There's
whole thing.
evidence of this. Let me try and pull
Robin
it up.
has admitted this is real. Like,
yeah, he admitted that this happened. But basically, what happened was, I don't know how long ago it was.
It was after the series against Montreal.
Yeah, after the Montreal series, Mark Stone had a little get together at his house. And the way he described it was that Robin Leonard slithered out of his house into his backyard and started digging up for snakes in his backyard. And then when he woke up the next morning, there were 5 snakes in his pool. And then Robin tweeted under the clip of the interview, "It was for Ryan Reeves, but I didn't find any. I wasn't digging, just did a little searching. He don't like snakes." And then he added Ryan Reeves on the tweet. So the fact that it was for Ryan Reeves is kind of hilarious. But just the fact that he just went into Mark Stone's backyard and was digging for snakes is kind of amazing. Just like considering the whole backstory of Robin Leonard.
The really funny part is if I went Zach, what players declared bankruptcy because of an exotic snake farm? After Evander Kane, you'd probably guess Robin Leonard.
No, why would I get? No, I wouldn't guess Evander Kane.
No, absolutely just not. Him in bankruptcy. It just goes hand in hand.
No. If Evander Kane, I would expect that he is somehow like he bought a casino that he can't afford, or
he invested in the snake farm. He thinks he's gambling on it.
He invested in the snake farm by gambling
on the snakes. Yeah. He would gamble on the snakes, and then the snakes would breed. And
is there a snake fighting ring? And why is Evander Kane involved?
Oh my god! So yeah, that's the fun little Robin Leonard story.
I love Robin Leonard.
So as a fun question, if you could have an exotic animal farm, which animal would you farm? Legally, of course.
Okay. So when I saw this question posted in the thing, my initial response was, we don't have to gamble on everything. Like, gambling is just such a problem. Or am I not? No, that's the wrong thing.
I'm so scared of where you're going with this.
That's the wrong thing.
Yeah, like, what are you gambling on?
I'm mixing something up. We're not gambling on this.
No,
in this case, I see $50 million in liabilities, and I think, so I'll take a goldfish. Maybe something cheap.
Goldfish farm.
An exotic goldfish farm, yeah.
But what about, can you just go to like a koi pond? Like, be a little exotic.
Yeah, does a koi pond count? Because that sounds even cheaper, honestly.
Yeah, okay. Fish farms exist. People farm fish.
Yeah, people farm fish for food.
That's part of the illegal goldfish trade.
Oh, wait, hold on. So...
legally.
So I grew up in a very small town in North Jersey. And I have one of my very close friends from like middle school. He put on Instagram a picture of like a food snack, like some sort of shrimp chip or some like frozen shrimp.
Not a chip.
And it said farmed in my hometown. My hometown was part of the very small burrowitis that happened in North Jersey circa like 1900 or something like that. I don't want to give away too much information, but that should narrow it down to the type of area. Very, very tiny burrows right next to each other. There's no space for a shrimp farm. Period. End of story. So someone in their house is running a shrimp farm. There's no other way. It has to be that. That's it. So I'm trying to figure out a way to.
Are you changing your answer then?
So would you farm shrimp?
I don't know. I mean, maybe I could profit off that.
Zach's answer is shrimp.
No, the answer is not shrimp.
Can I
actually? Yeah. You know what?
Actually, I'll go for lobsters. Okay, lobsters are cool.
Okay. I have an even better story. I worked with someone who had like 13 lobsters in their room.
Instead of a crazy cat lady, I'll be a crazy lobster.
Was he like growing food?
I don't know. She was homeschooled. So.
Oh, okay. That kind of explains things.
No, it doesn't. No. I had 13 lobsters in the room.
It's fine. They were homeschooled. Why the lobsters?
Fill in the gaps for me. How do you go from homeschooling to 13 lobsters in a room? You need to explain that to me.
Were they wild lobsters, or did she just get them from the store and then raise them?
I think she bought one from like the store to like keep, and it was pregnant.
Oh my god!
So she ended up with a whole herd of them.
How many lobsters? Wait, I need to do some digging now because this is
lobsters lay eggs. What the fuck is this?
No. So they can hold on to sperm, and when they're in a suitable place, they can then fertilize the eggs. That's what the lobster did after she bought it, and then laid all these eggs.
Oh my fucking!
This is a true story. This is a great segue for the show. Should I answer the question now?
Yeah, please answer it.
So, Natasha, I want to double check. Is it legal or illegal farming that I'm doing?
Legally, but you know.
Here's the thing with Texas is
the world's your oyster.
You could basically keep any animal legally in Texas as long as it's not native to Texas. Like, it will be illegal for me to keep a pet armadillo without a license. It's like illegal for me to keep like a bullfrog. But I can legally keep tigers.
This is breaking me right now.
Joe Exotic.
But my answer will be capybaras because I love and adore them.
Oh, those are cute. Those are cute.
Yes, they're pretty cheap. You can get them under $1,000, and you can just house train them. There's big ass guinea pigs.
That's true.
Oh, and they're so friendly. I got to pet them once. They're great.
Do hedgehogs count as exotic? Because
no, only if you spray paint it blue. Name it Sonic.
Oh wow, okay.
In actuality, if I'm allowed to actually answer, maybe I would do puppies. I don't know.
Puppies. Zach's gonna run a
Zach with the puppy mill. Yeah.
Yeah, I have a lot of stress in my life, so I feel I could see myself retiring to just breed puppies.
Zach, I would breed puppies with you. That's our post-retirement.
We could just
when Wrinkles in the Crease is over.
The Wrinkles in the Crease puppy mill.
We can do the puppy mill bagel shop idea. It would have to be in this area because I'm not making crappy bagels, and if I leave this area, the water will not allow me to make good bagels. That's just fact. Fight
is
me.
It really
that New Jersey water?
Is that a thing?
It plays a role into it.
That's
it's also
why New York bagels are so much better than Jersey bagels.
Yes, the best bagels around the country have water that is shipped from the area I live. Think about that. The water that I live is superior for baking
the water war
with all of its perfect levels of pollution and impurities and minerals. It's just perfect.
It's so nice.
Keep in mind, you know, like the Passaic River, which is very close to me, that there's like they dumped up so much Agent Orange, so much Agent Orange into that.
That's how they make the rainbow bagels. Is there's some Agent Orange?
Agent Orange for that.
That's right.
Oh,
Agent Green.
It was easier to get the Agent Rainbow to make the bagels rainbow than it was to just buy food coloring. I'm glad you bought it. I'm glad you picked up
orange was already
right.
there.
It was already there, so you just kind of work around it, you know? Like it's Anyway. I don't even know.
John
all
Tortorella.
I have here is my favorite daytime soap opera. I've got torts in the iPads. Someone please explain to me what is happening here.
So John Tortorella thinks his players aren't focusing on the game enough. They're too busy playing Clash.
He forgets that they're Philadelphia Flyers.
and he's taken the iPads away.
He took the iPads
to get them to focus.
So they can focus.
Do you mean he took away their personal iPads, or he took away the
iPads that they?
Oh, the iPads on the bench.
Yeah.
That they used to like watch reviews of the plays.
Yeah. He said he wants them to focus on the next shift
because they're playing too much Clash of Clans, according to Trevor.
Yes, I think that's what they said on the Steve Dangle podcast, and I want to ask you guys this as well. Did at some point John Tortorella tell someone to get on the ice and they weren't paying attention because they were looking at an iPad and he just threw a shit fit? and that's why.
Absolutely.
That had to be what happened.
That's
100%. That's not unbelievable. Because they're used to watch reviews of plays.
Tortorella.
If he wasn't paying enough attention, 100%, I could see that happening.
Yeah. But I don't think the Flyers have lost a game since he took the iPads away.
Okay, that's a problem.
They're on a heater.
That's a good point.
I don't like that because it supports his luddite bullshit.
Are we chalking up the W to Tort's good coaching?
No, absolutely not. We're just chalking it up to coincidence. These players are in fear of their lives. They're winning out of fear and necessity. That's what he does. It's amazing. He unites the players against him.
He doesn't know how to coach this team. I don't think he's had a team with so little talent.
Who can coach the Flyers is the real question.
Nobody.
What's insane to me is it's not like, Sean Couturier and Travis Konechny aren't far off from being very talented players in this league.
Not at all.
No.
But they obviously just need Bedard.
The Flyers can't tank for Bedard. They're not low enough.
Oh.
Unless they really try, Like,
where's Travis Konechny getting traded to?
I'm just saying, never forget the year the Colorado Avalanche tanked so hard, probably on purpose, because they didn't even get 50 points in the regular season. And the odds that year, they had, they could get picks 1 through 4.
They fell to 4. This is the Cale Makar year, right?
That was the Cale Makar year.
Yeah,
they got Cale Makar, so it worked out. But, I think in their ideal world, they were going to be set up to select Nolan Patrick #1 overall.
Ooh.
Oh, could you imagine?
Well, I mean, at the draft lottery, that was what we thought was going to happen. The Devils, thankfully, did not do that.
But you could have had Cale Makar.
Interesting.
I mean, we could go over this.
You're happy with Hischier.
There's no complaints right now. Hischier is well worth that pick, and he is right now a point per game player. There's nothing there. Nico Hischier is well deserving of that pick. He's the captain of the team for a reason. I'm very content with how it's working out, especially now that the Devils drafted, who they drafted over the past few years.
The Devils.
Yeah.
I have such a love and hate relationship with that team because it's unfair that they're going to win a playoff series this year when Toronto doesn't.
when we don't even, we'll just ride this in. The Devils continue as the NHL's best team on the road, although not the hottest team on the road. We'll get into that later. They beat on their SoCal trip. They beat Anaheim and LA on a back-to-back. Well done. Just keep things rolling.
Anaheim. Good job.
Anaheim.
You know what?
It's
refreshing to see the team win games that they're supposed to win. As a New York sports fan, that's kind of a thing that my teams don't like to do. Ever.
Play down your competition.
Yeah, exactly. Play below the competition and then come back at the end for dramatic purposes sometimes. But not all the time. And still lose. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
But as of the game last night with Jack Hughes' multi-point game, he is currently on pace to break the record for the Devils points, single season record for the Devils for points in the season. Also, the current holder of that record is Patrick Elias, who did so in 2006.
I was waiting for you to say it was like a Martin Brodeur Stanley Cup year, and they're gonna be like, he scored 45 points, and that's the franchise record.
Yeah, he scored 20 goals and netted 23 assists in what was really a trailblazing year for the New Jersey Devils in terms of offensive production. That year, by the way, they won
that year.
That year, most of the games against the Devils were, of course, 1-0 games that resulted in Devils victories. And no, I'm kidding.
Yeah,
but this is a very different team than those neutral zone trap years. I'm going to just
thank
close
God.
Yes, I think we can all agree on that. They're very fun to watch. And with that being said, vote Jesper Bratt into the All-Star game. He's well deserving. I know he's well deserving.
Voting ended yesterday.
Great.
Like Twitter voting.
Yes, Twitter voting. You can still go to the website and fill out the ballot online.
Tomorrow or Tuesday.
Tuesday. I think
That's
it's the
pressure
17th.
for Zach to get the episode up in time so people can go vote for Jesper Bratt.
Yes. If this episode is up in time, you'll be able to go and vote for Jesper Bratt.
Even if it's not, go vote for Jesper Bratt. And if you
yell at the NHL until they fix the voting system so that Jesper Bratt is rightfully an all-star.
Jesper Bratt. He should have been nominated in the first
Also, make sure that they give him the Hart Trophy and the Ted Lindsay and
the Vezina.
They should rename the Hart Trophy to the Jesper Bratt jersey or the Bratt jersey.
I'd be sorry.
The Bratt Trophy.
Oh my god, it'd be great.
Bratt
anyway,
Award.
The Bratt Award.
So I'm done. I'm done indoctrinating people, or trying to, and probably
we do it every episode because we try to.
This is just devil propaganda.
It's not intentional, I swear. But
one of these days, we're gonna get so many new Devils fans that they're gonna sell out a game when they're losing. In a losing season, they're gonna sell out a game. That's our goal.
No.
I want that to happen so badly, but I know it can't because the only thing that brings people into this team's games is winning, at least consistently.
No one likes a losing team, Trevor. No. Unless they're the Leafs, and then, well, you know.
Well, then it doesn't matter because the Leafs are going to have people attending games just to go to Leafs games. The Rangers also will have that
corporate bros pulling up.
Yeah,
all them corporate seats. Hell yeah. It's a quiet building.
Oh yeah.
Go Leafs go.
So
yeah, I'll hand it off.
To bring it back to the road game discussion.
No, we're doing Leafs first. Okay, I get my time.
You can talk about the Leafs.
Zach got his. The Leafs should have beaten Boston.
No. Next question.
Goaltending got in the way.
No, it wasn't even goaltending. The Leafs didn't get great goaltending in that game. They didn't. What lost him that game is Morgan Riley.
That's true.
He was awful.
Morgan Riley
they should have been benched in like the first period.
On the ice.
Are they still using him as a top 4 defenseman?
I think they were.
Okay, so if you actually Leafs games, the way that Sheldon Keefe deploys the defense isn't necessarily 1-2. It's extremely situational. If the Leafs have a first pair right now, it's Rasmus Sandin, Timothy Liljegren. But they're also dealing with Bill Brody right now. Muzzin's down. Riley is not a first pairing defenseman. You could probably say that they're using him as top 4. Shouldn't be right now. He's bad. Real bad. He let them down big against Boston. Him and Timmins pairing were -3. And then John Tavares had an awful turnover in the final minute to let Boston win it. I was so pissed off. Because I hurried my little Chevy Malibu back from Dallas to catch as much of the game as possible. And they lost. And I was just... But the Leafs, I think in that game proved that the Bruins are not that far ahead of them, skill-wise. They can compete with each other. The Bruins have more magic in goaltending.
It's not that the Bruins have more magic. The Bruins are a better team.
Bruins are just better, period. Exactly.
The Leafs can fight with them, though.
No.
That's fine. That's fine.
Maybe.
And in a 7-game series, who knows? But I'm putting my money on the Bruins. The Leafs are not.
And if they play in a playoff series right now, that series goes 7 again. No doubt.
I don't know about that. The Leafs had a good game against the Bruins. Great. But I don't know. The Bruins are kind of... Unbeatable. It's them and then the rest of the league. It is what it is. Like,
so if we put like Boston at like tier 1 in the NHL, I think they sit in that tier pretty isolated. Who's in that tier 2 right now? Who can fight?
Carolina, of course.
Carolina.
Toronto.
Toronto's there. Love them or hate them, they're there.
No, Toronto's there. I would argue to put New Jersey there. You could argue Vegas.
Dallas?
Maybe Vegas. Maybe Dallas.
No, I would
Dallas with Rupe Hintz. Because he's hurt again.
When Rupe Hintz is there, when Jake Onger is on,
it's a rough look.
When Robo's doing his thing. Yeah, 100%.
Which he is. Robo's back. He's scoring goals again. Watch out. Yeah, so, I mean, Boston probably comes out of a 7-game series against Toronto with a win right now. Not easily. And even the Bruins said that post-game. This Leafs team, Boston seemed surprised by him. I look at Marchand's comments post-game where he's saying this team is going to make a run. I'm telling you.
Are you sure he wasn't saying the Bruins are going to make a run?
No, he was impressed
said
with
about
the
the
Leafs.
Leafs.
He said they've gotten grittier, they've gotten tougher, and they're just more skilled.
Rare to get a Brad Marchand compliment.
That does mean something. And
Brad Marchand complimented the Leafs.
I will say you do hope that if you're going to have the score together for what is it, 5? I don't know, 6 consecutive first round exits.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, something in that neighborhood.
And Zach, you wanted to bring up the Leafs goaltending.
No, you were just complaining about it last week, so I just sent it in the group chat to let you know that. Yeah,
we're at the point where it's getting a little bit better now. They're still giving up some goals in which they don't look like they know what they're doing. Here and there, they give up some bad ones. But I thought of someone they should go out and trade if they need to. Anton Khudobin. Think about it.
For who?
They can't afford him.
He's not that expensive.
Is he not a $3 million cap hit?
The Leafs can make that work.
Okay, but he is like a $3 million cap hit. I'm not.
With 2 or 3.
Let me see.
And he's in the AHL.
Yes, he is because the
Stars
can't afford to bring him up.
Yeah,
I'm infuriated.
The Stars don't need to. I really think
Scott Wedgwood's a backup.
Scott Wedgwood had a stinker against the Flames on Saturday. Gave up 6. It was a rough watch.
Against the Flames,
Scott Wedgwood, who absolutely deserved the chance he got after the Devils just.
He's a good goalie. He's a nice guy too.
Yeah,
he's a real good goalie.
Anton Khudobin has a cap hit of about $2.2 million in change.
Okay, the Leafs trade Alex Kerfoot and make that work. Simple as that.
Is Alex Kerfoot their 4th line center?
No, Alex Kerfoot has played on every line on the Toronto Maple Leafs and has been okay at all of them, but never good.
That's not. Yeah, that doesn't seem ideal.
Not in Toronto. He needs a different environment, and he makes too much money just to be. We can slot him in wherever. It'll be okay.
He was the return for the Nazem Kadri trade, or a part of that return.
Him and Tyson Barrie.
Oh yeah.
Did you? Gosh, I might
Toronto won that trade for sure. Yeah, totally.
Yeah. Do you know that Nazem Kadri nixed a trade before that one?
Yeah,
Have you heard this story?
Yeah.
For who?
I have. Was it Matt Tkachuk?
No, it's TJ Brody.
Oh my God, that's even worse.
TJ Brody,
who's now on the Leafs and Nazem's on the Flames.
But
that's a weird one, isn't it?
Yeah. That's very weird.
Thank you for letting me have my Leafs rant. I've needed one.
Yeah. Now we'll go back to the Bruins.
The Bruins re-signed Pavel Zacha. I know
Devils
we were not
Pavel
expecting
Zacha.
that one. Yeah.
I mean, so I'll
yeah.
let you go and then I'll go because I
mean, there's not much to say. I mean, it kind of broke Bruins Twitter because
How did it break Bruins Twitter? Why did it break Bruins
Trevor,
Twitter?
You tell me about this one because I wasn't there for that. You know the juicy details.
I don't really know anything about it. I just came across one tweet. The one tweet, which is just so dramatic. Those who are comparing the Pavel Zacha signing to the Mitchell Miller situation, it costs $0 to not be ignorant.
Okay, what is wrong with Pavel Zacha?
There's nothing wrong with Pavel Zacha.
No, we don't hate Pavel Zacha. He's just, Pavel Zacha.
I don't understand.
Unremarkable.
I'm sorry.
He's unremarkable, but he plays well with every player. He
plays well enough to get a re-signed contract.
Why does Pavel Zacha come across to me like he's 29, 30, but he's only 25?
Because he's
one of those players.
I always think he's like 30 something.
He looks like a 29-year-old. I don't know. He looks a few years older than
so old.
But
so they signed him for 4 years for $19 million. I think it's like 4.75 AAV.
That's good term and good value for him.
Good money.
No, look, at the end of the day, if you look at some of the charts, a lot of people put his market value at around $5.5 million. So if you take that into account, you got him almost $1 million under market value. Had he hit the open market, he would have been able to command $5 million at least with the season he's having. He's not having a bad season. He's got what, 25 points in 41 games, something like that. 25 points.
Zach, I think you're dead on. 25 points in 42 games.
42 games.
Okay.
So at the end of the day, that's a guy who's producing for you. Just as a base point of comparison, what's Taylor Hall's current point? Where are the current number of points that Taylor Hall is putting up? Because after 25 games, they were about even in terms of points.
Taylor Hall's got 30 points, same amount of games.
So he's only 5 points behind Taylor Hall. Taylor Hall is making $6 million a year on his current deal. If you take that into account, granted, things are going to come back to reality in terms of shooting percentage for Pavel Zacha. Pavel Zacha's shooting percentage is at about 11%. He's at a career somewhere between 7 and 8. So that's going to come back to reality at some point. But
Zach, you also have to put into this, and I don't know how much this comes into account when making these deals, but next year, chances are Boston will not be good. Sorry to say it.
I mean,
by the time that deal is done, the team's gonna suck.
No, by the time that deal is done, they won't be competitive. But to secure him in what is undoubtedly the prime of his career, be it what it is,
it's important to get him done.
It's important to get him done here, and by getting it done now, you're going to save yourself potentially millions and the chance of even losing it. So it's a good move by Boston. I don't understand how these comparisons to Mitchell Miller came about.
Yeah, that I don't understand.
Also, like everyone's like, "Oh, where's Pasta? Where's Pasta?" You know, like the Bruins still haven't signed Pasta. I mean, like at this point, I'm waking up every day to wait, see for something, see if something happens.
He's going to
he's gonna negotiate to hell with.
He's gonna sign with
office.
He's gonna
sign for like
the New York Football Giants. He's gonna play wide receiver for him next year.
He's gonna sign for something like $10-11 million, which is what he should sign for.
He's aiming for the big bucks, and I don't think they get his real price. But basically,
David Pastrnak should ask for $15 million. And
he should
give it to him. He should say,
he deserves it.
Yeah.
Anyways, the Bruins home streak kind of snapped by everyone's favorite expansion team, the Seattle Kraken.
Band of misfit toys, the Seattle Kraken.
Band of misfits, all because of Brandon Tanev, pretty much.
No, Jared McCann's having himself.
Yeah, Jared McCann too. Yeah, he was pretty good.
Former Penguins.
Very upsetting, but it is what it is. The Kraken have been playing really, really good hockey lately, to everyone's surprise.
Are they a threat to make the playoffs? Like,
they're making the playoffs.
Probably. I mean,
we're halfway through the season and they are currently 8th.
They had an 8-win streak on the road, which is like an NHL record now.
It's the only time in the NHL. I believe it's the only time in the NBA as well. It's never happened.
Mm-hmm. So
Seattle's special, and they score so many goals, which is so weird for a team that last year could not buy one. Like they would, somehow the goalie would get a save on an empty net. Inability to score goals. Seattle.
So just an interesting little stat for Seattle. Seattle is currently, what is it? That appears to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th in the league in goal differential at plus 28. Do you have any idea who is in first and what the difference is between first and second place in that statistic?
And plus minus. So Boston's I'm going to go first. They score a lot of goals.
Yeah, I'll say Bruins. Yeah.
Very good. Boston.
And do you want Boston's plus minus or how many ahead of second they are?
I'll let you how much ahead of second they are. Bonus points if you can guess who second is.
I'm going to go there 20 goals ahead. No.
I'll say
20. Let's go 20.
Close.
And they're ahead.
No, actually more.
Holy shit. Okay, so Toronto's goal differential is not great because they did not do good at the beginning of the year. So it's
Toronto is ahead of Seattle, but they are 1 ahead of Seattle.
Not 2. Who's 2? The New Jersey Devils.
Yeah, the Devils are in second place. So the difference between the two,
Devils.
Boston is currently plus 66. The Devils
I
are
roll
plus 39.
Devils.
Ooh.
So they are the goal. There is a 27-point goal difference there. That's just to reiterate again how much better Boston is than the rest of the league right now.
Yeah.
Damn. No, they are going to destroy every single season record of London.
100%.
So
unfair.
But going back to Seattle, they did take the NHL record for road wins in a row.
Yeah.
Yep. And they're not doing it with any extreme individual performances. They're just getting scoring from up and down their lineup.
Yeah.
Everyone's contributing.
Very consistent.
No, it's a good team. And they're scary to play. I mean, they looked really good against Toronto last week. Just demolished them.
Yeah.
And I don't think Toronto played an awful game.
Imagine how good they're going to be when Shane Wright gets it together.
And Matty Beniers develops. And don't they have one more?
Matty Beniers, though. I mean,
Matty Beniers is playing really well.
He's on Calder territory for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. One thing we missed last week, Shane Wright was sent back down to the OHL.
And then traded for 85 draft picks.
In the OHL.
Yeah.
Oh, Shane Wright.
Yeah. No, he was traded in the NHL. He's actually a Leaf now.
The trade rumors will kill me one day. This and this player is going to Leafs. Okay, and and
the Rangers are currently on the verge of allegedly trading Capo Caco, Lafreniere, or Kravtsov.
Always. Why is it always the Leafs?
Because the hockey world revolves around the Toronto Maple Leafs. It's just a fact.
No, we're moving forward before we go into the stroke again.
Speaking of tanks, let's talk about the tankathon as coined by someone on Twitter.
Peter Mrazek.
Connor Bedard.
Peter Mrazek got pulled out of a game.
Tanked for Bedard once again. What are our thoughts about Columbus tanking?
No, we gotta talk about the team doing the best job at tanking right now.
Yeah, this is exactly what we're talking about.
Peter Mrazek got pulled 12 minutes into a game with a 200 save percentage.
What? Come again? What did he do? In
the first 7 shots, he gave up 6.
We love that.
Oh.
Good job, buddy. You did so good.
Peter Mrazek.
That's primetime goaltending there, baby. That's.
Do you think someone looked at him on the bench and went, "We're not beating Seattle. Let's make sure we don't."
Now that's Gretzky era goaltending right there.
Yeah. Peter Mrazek didn't actually go to his knees once. He just stood there and tried to flail his leg.
He just stood there, That's what you call a sieve.
Stand-up goaltending was once upon a time the primary method that goalies used in the NHL before people developed the hybrid or the butterfly, and then of course the hybrid of going between the two. The stand-up goalie method hasn't necessarily been used in its traditional sense.
I think that's what Mrazek was doing. I really think
it didn't work for him.
Or the character from The Simpsons who was just tied to the goalposts.
Is that proof that it doesn't work, or is it just a Peter Mrazek problem?
It's a Peter Mrazek problem. He needs to update the film he's watching. Because if he's watching film,
guys, you have to remember
if he's watching film from when goalies weren't wearing masks, that's a problem. Am I wrong?
And the pads are 10 times bigger now.
Am I missing?
Peter Mrazek oh my god, they can lift the puck now.
That's beside the point.
Oh my god, what era are we living in?
Oh no, man, I'm so beyond.
Chicago on the race for the tankathon, and they were originally tanking, and then Columbus decided, you know what, let's tank some more. Montreal is cheering for Bedard because Bedard was the hero of the World Juniors. But I don't think Montreal is getting close to Bedard. Who knows? Honestly, with Jake Allen, who even knows at this point?
Hey, anything is possible.
Anything is possible in Montreal. Come on, guys.
No, I mean in the draft lottery, you never know.
Oh well, that's true. Yeah, sure.
How mad is the hockey world going to be if a certain team goes on a slump, falls just enough to make it into the draft lottery and wins it, and Connor Bedard's a Pittsburgh Penguin? The world Eds.
Could you imagine?
That's not unrealistic.
Rioting
it's
in the
not.
streets of Philadelphia.
Like, you go straight from Lemieux to Crosby to Bedard.
Wow, the passing of the torch for the generational talents, Trevor. It's such a storybook ending.
By that logic, you know, what if Colorado just said, you know what?
The league folds. The league folds. The minute Colorado gets Bedard.
Yeah, Connor Bedard.
Who do you actually want to see Bedard be with next year?
Genuinely Vancouver.
No, don't give them a bone.
That's something I forgot to put on the list.
That's the problem. I don't want to see it, but I think he will go to Anaheim. I think at the end of the day, it'll be Anaheim.
It does seem likely. I would rather see him in Anaheim than like Chicago or Columbus, to be honest.
No, same. If he goes to Columbus, nothing will change. And if he goes to Chicago,
him and Trevor Zegras together will be one of the most fun duos in the NHL. If not the most, the minute
I want him to overshadow Trevor Zegras so badly.
He would, and that's a damn shame.
He will.
Is just Erik Karlsson enough to keep the San Jose Sharks just out of contention for the number 1 overall pick?
Yeah, Erik Karlsson's playing good enough.
He's so good. He's whatever.
And we don't know why.
But he was clearly playing hurt for the past, I don't know, however long ago he joined San Jose.
4 years.
He broke himself in 2017 to get the Senators where they were. Played well enough in like 2017, 2018, and then re-broke, and then got traded. Yeah.
And he just really hates Connor Bedard's like parents, and he's been planning this the whole time.
Yeah.
Gary
Connor Bedard is actually really close with what is it, Mike Hoffman? Yeah.
Mike Hoffman.
Okay.
That's a reference we're not getting into.
That's a wrap.
I did a thing. All right. So Natasha has a gambling addiction and wants us to see who you think. Who you think? Who's your pick? Pick one team.
For Bedard?
For Bedard.
Yeah, for Bedard.
Anaheim.
I mean, I already said
Anaheim.
Yeah.
They're bad. They're real bad.
They need help.
They're the worst, man.
It would physically paid me to watch him go to Montreal. I don't know why.
Or Arizona.
Oh, no, not Arizona.
Chicago would be the worst.
No,
Chicago or Columbus would be the worst. I don't know. I like
Columbus, man.
I like an underdog story. Give me
Pittsburgh.
Give me Detroit.
Detroit.
Give me Detroit. Yeah.
Detroit fans would be so miserable. Detroit fans, they'd be like, "Oh, but we have Mo Seider.
But him and Mo Seider together.
We have Mo Seider.
Yeah, that would be fun. That would be a lot of fun. I'm thinking
that's like
the potential
franchise-changing players.
I could roll with the Red Wings rebuild. I could roll with that.
I think that Detroit will fall a little bit more in the standings, maybe, and then they'll have some lottery magic. That's the only way it happens. It's probably not
Buffalo
the most
be a good
likely.
spot for him if they can.
Buffalo's not going to. No, Buffalo.
Could he be a Philadelphia Flyer?
He could be.
No,
he could just as easily as he could be a Detroit Red Wing. He could be a Philadelphia Flyer. Just as easily. Philadelphia doesn't deserve joy. He is not wrong on that.
Philadelphia is the worst city in this country.
Okay, what about a Senator? The Senators are kind of tanking. I won't lie.
Again, just as possible. I
mean,
if I'm supposed to pick most likely, give me, I guess, Anaheim. But if I'm picking Columbus, the team I want to see, Chicago. I want to see him play on Detroit or
Detroit. I want to see him play the most fun, other than Anaheim, just because him and Mo Seider. Like, people don't talk about how good Moritz Seider is.
Yeah,
he is really good.
Like, people are talking all about Dahlin this year and how much Dahlin stepped up to be really what we thought he was going to be. Moritz Seider is still better than what Dahlin's doing right now.
Why is everyone so quick to take a first overall pick and call him a bust like 2-3 seasons in?
When's the last time we had a first overall pick that wasn't called a bust?
I'm sorry?
When's the last time we had a first overall pick that wasn't called a bust yet?
People
you have to. No one called Austin Matthews a bust. Out of the gate, he scored 4 goals.
No one has ever called Austin Matthews a bust. Natasha,
yeah, they knew that they hit on that pick right from the get-go. Not only did they know they hit on that pick, they knew they hit on Patrick Laine.
Mm.
They knew the Jets hit on Patrick Laine, but
yeah,
I digress. Yeah, I would have to say, I would guess Austin Matthews because they called Heischer a bust. They called Dahlin a bust. They called Hughes a bust. They called
Lafreniere.
Yeah.
Owen Power is barely played.
Well, to be fair, Lafreniere needs to step it up because he's the
only one that deserves to be in the conversation.
Unfortunately, I'm trying to defend him with my life, but
I really
he needs some work. He needs some work.
He's a very good player, but he's not nearly.
I think he was at his best when he was playing with Frank Vetrano, but they shipped him off to Anaheim. To do
Lafreniere going to Anaheim to be
reunited? No, it can't be reunited with Ryan Strome.
That's the Ducks' first line next year. Is Frank Vetrano,
all the ex-Rangers go to Anaheim. Anaheim is the Rangers' graveyard.
Ryan Strome. I saw Ryan Strome there the other night. And I thought, oh, that's adorable. Vetrano played well against the Devils, though.
That's hard to do now. Not many players play well against the Devils.
Shocking.
No, not even that.
Matt Murray had a great game against the Devils, though.
Oh my God, I hate you.
Next question. Okay, we're moving on.
Well, before we go on to the next question, I do want to make sure we cover the Vancouver thing. So, Vancouver has a new world of issues, mostly involving the fact that Quinn Hughes was asked about, I believe it's Tanner Pearson's injury, yes?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And Tanner Pearson broke his hand. It was only supposed to be out 6 weeks, but it was not handled correctly. And Quinn Hughes said something about this. Apparently, Quinn Hughes saying something in the media sparked an investigation.
The first time they heard about it.
Because it's the first time that management front office had heard that there was potential mismanagement of the player's injury. So Vancouver is in worse shape than we could have possibly imagined.
Zach, there are, across the 4 major leagues in the United States, there are some badly run teams. Okay, there are some teams that need to be sold like this instant. The Pittsburgh Pirates, for example, are a waste of a franchise. Okay. And hockey has had some bad ones. The Vancouver Canucks are by far
the worst run team in North America. Help. Like serious help.
They were looking so good like 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah.
It was like, they had the pieces together after the Sedins left. It was Pettersson, and it was Hughes, it was Besser, it was Horvat, and then all of it has been thrown into a dumpster, shit on, and then caught on fire.
Yeah.
That's classic Vancouver.
They also
it's burning just like the rest of the city is.
True.
No, the city doesn't just burn because Vancouver is a city that has
okay, this is Vancouver, Trevor.
And then they have to be let down somehow.
Yeah.
The team lets them down every night.
Yes, but they have to be good first for it to really sink in. If they're just letting them down, it's like, that's
but they were good once, and now they're not anymore.
Oh, and then the whole Rick Tocchet situation has made it look worse. Are you familiar with the Rick Tocchet situation?
No.
Do tell.
Natasha, are you not aware?
No.
So it came out that the Canucks are hiring Rick Tocchet as their head coach.
Fantastic.
In a month.
Oh, wow.
But the thing is Bruce Boudreau is still coaching, and Rick Tocchet is not available to coach them for another 4 weeks.
Okay.
So Boudreau is basically he said either today or yesterday that it's just his job to keep coaching until they tell him not to anymore.
Wait.
Rick Tocchet has given a 4-week notice to TNT because he's going to go coach Vancouver.
That's what
Jim Rutherford is, or not? Who's coaching there? It's not Jim. Who is it? Bruce Boudreau.
Oh my God!
Bruce Boudreau,
is still coaching there. It has not been fired.
That's great.
If I'm him, I just walk into the GM's office and do, can I just go home?
I mean,
there's nothing I could do here.
I don't know it's all rumors and speculation right now. That's the thing. So you can't really.
No, people at TNT have verified he has given his notice to go to Vancouver. He's made that clear there.
Fantastic. This is fucking insane.
It's happening.
And
the Canucks are gonna do this weird ass announcement that they've relieved Bruce Boudreau and hired Rick Tocchet, and everyone's gonna be like crazy. Like, who would have saw that?
We're just gonna pretend that we're surprised. Is that the vibe?
Yeah. Can we do a special episode the day that it happens? Just go breaking news, guys.
Yeah.
Sure.
Rick Tocchett's the new head coach of the Canucks.
We can do at least like a mini segment or something. We may be
there.
That may be in AirPods, an iPhone. Just drop everything. Get on video call.
It's a Kevin Weeks in just the most random place. Breaking news from Wrinkles in the Crease. Rick Tocchet has been named the new head coach of the Canucks.
Yeah.
I love watching the Canucks though.
They
got a 3-goal lead against Pittsburgh in the first period, and by the end of the period had already blown it.
Yeah, classic Canucks,
Classic Canucks moment.
Yeah.
I mean, other teams have done that. I'm just saying.
That's
year.
true.
Like teams that some people in this
No, but it's funny when Vancouver does it. They're so bad.
Don't argue that.
And it's not even the on-ice product is the worst part. It's everything surrounding the team is bad.
Mm.
You could write a book about how bad the team is before you start talking about how they actually play.
So do we move the Canucks to Kansas City and pretend that they're a new team so that they can leave their debts behind and also contracts? They can just re-expand.
Yep.
Yeah.
You may ask, Zach, what do you do with the entire Vancouver Canucks system of players if they're not going to move with the team?
Dispersal draft.
Yes.
That's a good idea.
Who's claiming JT Miller in his contract? No one.
Okay, no. So here's how JT Miller works. The way this works is every team in the NHL now has now pays JT Miller.
Yes, it gets broken up into little bits.
JT Miller has become the emergency player. If you have too many players that are hurt and you can't afford to bring up a player or whatever,
JT Miller.
You just get
JT Miller.
Exactly. He's like the fill-in guy,
This is a terrible idea.
Missing an official gets hurt at a game. JT Miller's there.
JT Miller.
Yeah, JT Miller is the keeper of officials. He makes sure that they're well fed.
Bruce Boudreau is going to stop coaching, and JT Miller is going to take over until Rick Tocchet gets there.
We're fucking done. Okay, we have at that point.
I think is that it?
I think that's it. That's it. I've got no more patience for you, Trevor. Congratulations.
No, this has been a good episode from me.
Oh my God. On that note, thank you so much for tuning into this week's episode of Wrinkles in the Crease. Please tune in again next week. Catch up with us on Twitter. We will talk to you soon. Have a good one, everyone. Take care.